How to actually enjoy being alone? That's a good question. Some people fear solitude, but others choose it as their lifestyle. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was a kid, I thought that doing things alone sucks. Whatever I was doing, I thought it would be done much better with someone by my side. Don't tell that to anyone, but until I was in mid-elementary, I was panically afraid of being left alone at home, even for a moment. But as I grew up, things changed drastically. Today, the time I spend alone most often is the time I enjoy the most. To be honest, it's partly because I was never really good at socializing and building relationships. But still, there are many people who aren't good at socializing, and although they are spending most time alone, they hate spending time alone. This video is about enjoying spending time alone. And regardless if you're an introvert or an extrovert, you can start loving solitude. It just comes a little more naturally to introverts. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Quote by Blaise Pascal. So most of our misery in solitude is caused by the mix of loneliness and boredom. Many people hate spending time alone, because when they are alone, it's the time when they get attacked the most by their thoughts, or as some call it, by their inner demons. Social interactions are a good strategy to focus on something else, to get distracted from our inner monologue. That's why some people are panically afraid of being alone, because they have nothing to fight their inner monologue. They get easily bored, and when it's being mixed with their self-hatred and bad attitude, well, you get a recipe for mental disaster. So the best thing to do is to embrace boredom and learn to sit alone doing nothing. This way you could learn to fight your thoughts. But, well, since I'm not an expert on those things, in this video I want to focus more on what to do to enjoy solitude and not have to face those thoughts. The best way to fight your inner demons is learning self-love, but in this video I want to focus more on how to start loving solitude by making it enjoyable. You don't need people around to escape boredom. And sure, you could just run TikTok or some other hyper-stimulating thing, but there is a better way. What you should do is meaningful distraction. Treat your time in solitude as the time when you focus on yourself. You need to find something to focus on all by yourself. Use solitude as a tool for extreme productivity. Make enjoying solitude the part of your personality. For me, solitude is a blessing, because I see it as time to focus on myself, to contemplate, to improve, to pursue my hobbies, to learn something new. This is what I mean by meaningful distraction. I don't mean distracting yourself from the thoughts by TikTok, but using solitude as a way to focus on something productive. To be honest, meaningful distraction is the term I made up for this video, but what's important is that you get what I mean. I enjoy solitude, because only then I can do what I want to get done during the day, and it's impossible to focus on my daily routine when I'm around people. I almost never feel lonely, because I always have something productive to do. I'm always in a rush, and I might be wrong, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think that thanks to the fact that I learned how to do things alone, I learned to actually feel good alone, even when I'm just sitting and doing nothing. That's just what I think. As in Blaise Pascal's quote, I can be the man sitting alone quietly in a room, and I usually feel all good doing so. But, well, I don't know if it would work the same for everyone. Back to the point. Solitude can help us succeed in life, because it promotes deep focus, but more on that in a moment. Of course, I'm not here to trash talk about socializing. Other people are very important in our life, and I'm not telling you to become a hermit for the rest of your life. I'm just telling you to start valuing your time alone, similarly as you value your time spent with people you love. Of course, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I also have mental breakdowns, and then it's hard to purely focus on the grind. And in such moments, solitude can make my bad thoughts even more intense. But it's very rare. Value yourself and your time. Just find something productive to do. Meaningful distraction. Read a book, work out,
do some push-ups,
play guitar, get a new hobby, try to learn something. And remember, avoid cheap dopamine pleasures. They're the type of meaningless distraction. And well, you probably know how empty life is after a session of doom scrolling. Now here's why spending time alone is sometimes crucial for our success. In a group, you will never be able to focus as well as you can in solitude. There is no such thing as a magical mind connection. And so no matter what you're doing, if you're doing it in a group of people, none of you will get as focused and as immersed as if you were doing it alone. In order to achieve deep focus, you need to eliminate all distractions. So the more quiet your room is, the better. You can't achieve flow state if there is someone close to you constantly talking something to you. If you want to learn something more about focus, I recommend you reading the book Deep Work by Sal Newport, truly a life-changing book. And if you're a loner, is there something wrong in it? No, I myself am a loner. It's good to have friends, but it isn't necessarily bad to not have any. I've spent the majority of my last summer break pretty much having no friends, and did it feel bad? Not really. Your friends don't define your worth as a person. And no, it's not a cope. Nowadays I enjoy socializing with people in my university, but still, I 100% confess that I feel the best when I'm all by myself. Even if you had no friends, it doesn't make you a loser. For me, a loser is a person who is only consuming without producing any value. Just because some people may see you as a loser, doesn't mean that you are a loser. If you have trouble socializing, it just means that you have trouble socializing, not that you have trouble living a good life. History is full of eccentric people who are terrible at socializing, but are seen as geniuses. And for the fellow Christians watching this, when you're feeling lonely, the best thing to do is to pray, even for a moment. God hears us and He knows all our suffering. If in the worst moments of your life you still believe and are able to spend some time with God, it's a good sign for you. We as Christians are never alone, because God is always with us. And remember, we don't know what God's plan is. Don't take it as 100% correct, but I think that sometimes God actually wants us to be alone. When we're alone, as I said, it's time for us to work on something meaningful. And even better, we can spend more time on prayer. Jesus was often going to desolate places away from people to pray. Amen. Thanks for your time. Growth is our duty. Bye.